Our final map in this best of 9 in Game 9 is going to be Atlantis Spaceship. And at the top part of it, we have our purple Zerg player coming back, winning 2 games already, forcing the ace match for his team. It is none other than MVP.Sniper. And down in the bottom left, we have our blue Terran player, the ace for the team TSL Super Tournament champion, TSL.Polt.
That is right. So here we are now, ZVT to decide things, and Atlantis Spaceship has made for some very cool ZVTs, if I do say so myself.
Leenock versus Marine King the other day.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome game.
Oh, who was it? July versus?
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about? It was like huge
somebody.
Ultralisk games. Not too
that was
long
last
ago.
season.
Yeah,
that was really good.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what both these players have to offer now. As this is a very big map, we've seen players go for that 3-hatch before pool, so it's certainly a possibility. Polt, on the other hand, is a guy who loves playing that 3 command center style that we've seen all too, or quite a bit recently. All too recently. Oh no!
All too recently.
Oh, I saw that 3 command center build all too recently. I'm devastated.
Yeah, I think the 3 command center is going to become kind of a standard build as long as maps like Atlantis Spaceship remain in the map pool, and a lot of the other big maps, of course, apply as well. Terran players are just always looking, like any other races, to get an edge in economy, and getting 3 command centers very quickly is a great way for Terran to do that. You have the nice benefit of playing Terran in that you don't need to take your 3rd base at your 3rd base. You can build it in your main, you can build it in your natural, you can make sure that everything is really well saturated, and then move out, you know, when you have an army to make sure that it's safe as well. And before that, you have all the energy that the 3rd orbital command gives you too. You've got the scans, you've got the mules. So really, I mean, on maps like this, there's no reason for a Terran player to not get a 3rd command center that quick.
And let's see, no pool yet on 18, so it looks like, okay, there we go, finally. He just took it really, really late on 18 there. But 18 pool after the hatch first for Sniper, so nothing too out of the ordinary. Polt, of course, going for a 1-rax gasless fast expand. If I ever watch games where Polt doesn't 1-rax gasless fast expand, I get a little worried, because that just seems to be what he does every matchup, every time.
Yep. He's been deviating a little bit from that in Terran versus Protoss lately. He's been doing a lot of actual Marine Tank Banshee play lately, which I don't think is that good for him. I feel like he should go back to Bio. I feel like that's what he's best at. But lately he's been trying that out in TVP. But in TVZ and in TVT, it's nearly always 1-rax gasless expand. And it's served him well in the past. It served many other Terrans well. So it's a good start. Now from here, we'll have to see if he takes 2 gas very, very quickly, goes for something more, you know, we could even go mech, but that would be like the sun setting in the east or something like that. You know, I mean, it's always an option.
Polt's going mech in TVP? Oh.
I know, yeah.
I can't even fathom that.
Yeah, he could go mech.
Well, it is very normal stuff out of him
when
so
the
far,
Cubs
though.
win the World Series.
Following up with, hey, man, 106 years and going strong. Well, 2 more barracks coming up with double gas afterwards. So Polt is certainly going after a build that's very Polt-like. He's going to have a lot of bio units out very early.
Oh, yeah.
And no real surprise there. But we'll see when he wants to take his 3rd command center.
Yep, only 3 barracks, rather, not 4 barracks. So he's not going to power everything really, really hard. He's not going to go for that big combat shields push that we see a lot of Terrans trying out lately. And he's probably going to be going for medevacs relatively quickly off of that. So you can go 3 barracks with reactored medevacs, kind of just like you do in Terran versus Protoss a lot of times. And if you stay mostly on Marines and then later on start adding your tanks as you take your 3rd, that can end up working pretty well against Zerg in the current metagame. But I kind of feel like Sniper is going to be the type of player that's just going to see something like that and going to be like, all right, lots of Banelings, smash down, that's it. I mean, I wonder if this is going to be the right style for Polt to play against Sniper.
Zerg smash.
Yeah.
Well, Polt, intercepts the drone, so he knows that there's a 3rd base coming up. Unfortunately, not able to kill it, and Polt is going to lose all of these Marines, but it does kill 3 Zerglings before he goes down, so.
The last thing that came through the comm was like, I saw a 3rd base. It was there. He didn't die in vain. We got the scouting info.
And, yeah, Factory following this up, but Polt not going over for that super quick 3rd command center. Just getting his stim up nice and early and powering out a good number of Marines. Engineering bay coming up, so he will have that +1 very, very soon.
Yep, +1 weapons, so he's going to have a very strong bio presence out on the map. Oh, and I love this. I love it when a player takes a 3rd right here, gets that rich Vespin gas. And if you wall off that little area between your third base and, or between your second base and this one, you can actually have a nice little defensive choke here too.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some players that'll go ahead and full wall this space off.
That's
and
right.
then that's what you're talking about. You mean second and your normal third. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, this space right here, because then everything has to filter through this space, and Siege Tanks can watch that exceptionally easily. As we see, though, Polt adding on some reactors. He's going to power out a bunch of Marines here in a second and move up to some medevacs as well. Back on Sniper side of things, he did start with that 4 Queen build. The creep spread, consequently, is very, very great.
Yeah, I mean, this is the style that Polt likes to play. This is a style that a lot of Terran players have been liking to play, that Marine medevac into tanks added a little bit later on. And I do like that he's just getting the +1 weapons. I kind of feel, honestly, like +1 armor is a little bit, or armor in general is a little bit overrated in TVZ, at least in the early stages of the game. Because if you think about it, you know, I mean, when you're moving out with a Marine medevac force, what do you really need armor upgrades for? You know, if you're going to die to something, it's probably going to be banelings, and in that case, it's really not going to benefit you. So why not use that gas to get double medevacs like Polt is doing and just kind of skip the armor until later, or just skip it at all? I mean, sometimes we see players not even worrying about armor, and that is a lot of creep tumors.
That is an enormous amount of creep tumors. That's a little ridiculous, actually. So, well, anyway. So a lot of active creep tumors spreading in that direction. That will take very short period of time for Sniper to really spread that out there. Polt now finally adding on a tech lab to his factory, so he will be able to move into siege tank production here. Also has 3 more barracks on the way, so the continued Marine production is going to be pretty great. We'll certainly need a scan here. Oh, that's all for naught.
That's like when you're a kid and you build like one of those really tall card houses, and then like the bully comes over and just like knocks it down. He's like, "Ha! All your work doesn't mean anything."
I actually have seared into my brain the most sad look of a child ever from my childhood, as we have a few Marines poking up there. They are going to be driven away by Zerglings. When I was in preschool, and I still remember this, I fell off a chair as the drop gets picked up there and into someone's wall that they had constructed, and I still remember the kid's look on his face to this day, just stricken with grief and fear as his tower crumbled to the ground.
That same look is underneath these Marines' visors, but only because they're having to use so many bullets.
Whoa!
Not because they're dying.
That was so good. That target fire, the banelings out by Polt was just ridiculous. His control is just, well, it's Polt-like, but it's amazing.
Yeah. It's Poltful.
Yes. Poltful.
That's what I like to describe it as. But it was kind of funny when the foreigners would come to Korea and start playing on the Korean ladder, too. I had Zerg players say that on the NA server and the EU server, they could just have like 3 or 4 banelings and just attack with that and, you know, count on connecting. But they're like, if you don't have more than like 6 banelings at the minimum, Terran players on this server are just going to focus them all down. And yeah, you need to worry about that.
It's right. And Polt is just kind of running circles around Sniper at the moment in terms of just the sheer controls. So probably need to pick up against this. I mean, as we saw, tanks are being added in now. So he'll have a fair number of units out pretty shortly. But, you know, this is still anyone's game. We'll see what Sniper does from here on out. He does have some larvae available, and he does have a Zerg flyer attacks on the way. There, finally, 8 Mutalisks coming up.
8 Mutas indeed are on the way, but Mutalisks don't do terribly well against that large of a Marine force here. It may keep Polt in his base a little bit more, but Sniper's going to need more than that to be able to come back and win the game. I gotta say, again, I love this third base choice for Polt. That's a really hard base for Zerg to hit that hard. Mutas can come in from behind, obviously, but with a couple missile turrets and some good presence of mind, you're not going to take a lot of damage there. And it's basically Baneling and Zergling proof. You're not going to be able to just run in there real quick as a Zerg player and take something out and then run away. If you go in there, you're going to dedicate everything that moves in there, because Terran's probably going to just trap you. So that's such a smart third base location for Polt.
And Sniper going to try and swing in with a few Mutalisks here. There is 1 missile turret up, but that is it. Actually watching the entire main. So the Mutalisks are going to run free for a little bit, at least picking off some supply depots.
Free is the wind in space where there's no wind.
That's very free, let me tell you.
That's so free. Polt adding on a couple more factories right now. He wants to get that tank production going.
Oh, he actually pulled back. He could have moved up and killed a lot of Mutalisks there. And we'll see if Sniper is able to take advantage of this kind of second life he has with these Mutas.
He's got 11 of them right there. And, well, he did. He lost one. He now has 10.
No, I just didn't have it. Sorry.
Oh, there we go. He does. No, it's a circling. Okay, he does have 11.
He has 11. I got you. I got your back. You were right.
Okay, good. I thought it was. I'm not good at math, so if I'm wrong, I'm like, yeah, it's me and math. I was an art major.
Hey, your counting skills are still great.
Oh, those are brave Mutalisks, but so stupid.
Yes.
And here comes...
So brave.
Here comes Sniper trying. So hard to take that out, but Polt... Oh, great focus fire with the tanks. That's a lot of dead banelings.
That is one accomplished siege tank right there, and Polt is going to continue running forward. Scan going down to pick off some creep tumors as he advances.
Oh,
Sniper going to try and move into this. Polt looked away for half a second, and banelings just devastated his army, so all the gains he just made were almost for naught.
Yeah, that was not a normal time for Sniper to attack. Definitely caught Polt a little bit unawares there. Polt still looking good for supply, only about 20 down. He hasn't really taken any damage at his third yet, so he's not really hurting too badly.
No.
But Sniper is now on 4 bases. Polt just now taking his 4th. He needs to make sure that he keeps up an economy as well as keeps up an army count with his opponent too. And with the lack of pressure that he's been able to put on Sniper, Sniper's been able to kind of gradually build up steam here.
Well, Sniper has Hive Tech on the way now. Of course, just scanned by Polt, so Polt knows exactly when that's coming up. But he's going to have to make a pretty big defense here. Sniper actually swinging in from 2 sides, or thinking about it, going to put some pressure on this 4th base of Planetary Fortress. Oh, but Polt's really on top of that. Planetary Fortress is going to stay up. That was a good catch by him there.
Yeah, free kills for those Marines. They're like, yeah, I get up my rank. Awesome.
Hooray!
Sniper still relying on Baneling Mutalisk right now, going around to the outside, thinking about going after that 4th base for TSL.Polt. The army is a bit out of position here.
And it looks like he's going to go for it. Missile turret starting to go to work on those, Mutalisks, but the Planetary Fortress still stands.
Target it down.
Banelings thinking about running into it. No, not off of it for now. Just wanting to take it down with as few Banelings as possible there.
Wow.
And the Planetary Fortress falls. Yeah.
That is an empty base now. And I love that. Sniper actually did that really, really well. He attacked at that sort of contained third to pull the units into that and make it even harder for Polt to respond to it. And there was really nothing he could do. He didn't even get to pull the SCVs away. Sniper taking down that base, no problem. And that actually sets Polt behind a lot. I mean, he's moving out another command center. He's building 2 more of them. But the fact that he's not going to be able to get the resources from that base for a while yet is going to make it tough for him to build up resources to keep up the production, to keep up with the Zerg army as well.
And here comes Sniper one more time. Just moving in just before Polt is sieged up, but great target fire of the Banelings once again. Is it going to be enough, though? Are there enough units left over? It looks like yes, just barely, and Polt does force this back one more time. 22 Zerglings on the way. The Ultralisk Cavern is coming up, just about to finish up.
Yep, that's right. 3-3 is on the way as well for both players, actually, plus 2 vehicle weapons being researched by Polt right now, clearing out some of that creep.
Creep spread has just been great from Sniper, even after all those creep tumors being cleared up by Polt earlier on in this game. Still, a lot of work needed to be done here by Polt just to be able to get this to recede even a little bit.
Adding on some Thors. Okay. Interesting idea there. I'm a little bit surprised he's adding on the Thors. He does still have a good amount of Marines, and Sniper hasn't been too heavy on the Mutalisk, so I'm a little bit surprised by that. He's going to need to deal with this attack here at his 4th base fairly soon. The Muta's still harassing a little bit, killing off that Rich Vespin geyser.
Yeah, pretty
That's
nice.
Annoying.
And,
Polt
has to watch out. Banelings with speed, but they are off of creep now, and of course it is receding through there, so this is going to become a more difficult attack path for Sniper as the game wears on. Planetary Fortress morphing in and just about to finish up once again.
4th base finishing. And the Ultralisks finishing for Sniper as well. He's going to be able to add those to his army, and Polt a little bit out of position again. It is a planetary, though, so Sniper does have to kind of think twice about this, and that delay is all Polt needs to get back into position, it looks like. Yeah, I don't think that Sniper's going to have enough Banelings. Yep, has to pull back there.
Yep, already 11 kills for the Planetary Fortress after just 2 shots, so certainly
Not
will
bad.
be able to hold its own. Investor is pinning down a few forces there, but not that many. Polt even smartly running up a couple of forces just to pull these back once again so we can get a few more Baneling and Infestor kills.
Burrow just finishing right now for Sniper, which is kind of cool. He's going to be able to use that surprise Polt with some burrowed Banelings, possibly move some Infestors around and be annoying with those as well. This drop coming around the top of the map right now could be game-changing potentially for Polt too if he's able to get in there and kill off the Hive and a couple other tech buildings. But Sniper just a lot of hesitation. Feels like he almost has enough to win that fight, but not quite. Disadvantage now is that Polt has seen the Ultralisks and is able to make a lot of Marauders to try to sort of make up for it. Might be too little too late, but
good job by Sniper
got a chance
to react very quickly to that drop, though, and looks like he's going to have to swing around to the next base as well, and does. So Polt, losing a ton of Marines there. Is he getting anything else in position? Normally when that happens, Polt is usually like dropping 3 other places at the same time, but doesn't look like that's the case here.
One medevac goes down, and not a lot being done by the rest of the forces. Polt, really no damage done by that drop. Moving out with a relatively small army, it appears. I mean, he has a good amount of Marines. Siege tanks are actually pretty decent as well. But here comes Sniper. He's got a lot of Ultras out.
Just lost a few Banelings there. Thankfully for him, didn't lose any of these Infestors, but the Ultras are getting a little bit low.
Well, coming down the ramp right now, this is a good position for Sniper. Oh man, the Thors not helping all that much, and the Ultras just overrunning absolutely everything. Sniper cleaning up this army, no problem. And yeah, he's actually going to get all the tanks. 6 Ultras and 38 Zerglings coming behind this. He hasn't really lost a single base all game. And Polt, despite the fact that he still, has his 4th base up and running, and he's now just taking his 5th, I feel like Sniper's starting to kind of get the momentum here. But, I mean, I don't know. Polt, he's still got a chance. He's got 3 tanks making it once. He's got concussive shells on the way, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Durasteel plating, which is going to make his buildings, or Terran building armor, not Durasteel plating.
Yes. Is that the brand name for Terrans? Is that their preferred contractor?
Durasteel. There's an upgrade called Durasteel that I thought that was the upgrade that gives you like +2 to building armor, but it was just regular building armor, I guess.
I just have an image of the
Durasteel
CEO sitting there.
I know there's an upgrade that says Durasteel in it.
Well,
it's on the engineering bay.
Yeah,
I promise.
Polt is being given time once again to kind of remake his forces. Now, Sniper going to start rolling his way through, and that planetary going down very, very quickly. It does fall. A lot of Banelings left over. Once again, Sniper being very, very good about keeping a lot of his Banelings alive there. That's a lot of Ultras. That's also a lot of Siege tanks right in the same position, but they're not actually going after a lot of the Banelings. But the Banelings kind of waste themselves on the Siege tanks before anything else. The Ultra's getting a little bit low, but it doesn't look like Polt has enough.
Yeah, Ultralisk's falling quickly, but not quickly enough. Sniper, okay, good. I was about to say he needs to pull back. Some of those Ultras were getting pretty low, and look at this, a drop at a base of Sniper, but Mr. Ultralisk is there to give his life to delay for the rest of the army to catch up.
Yes.
That was so kind.
He did give his life there,
That's
truly.
Right.
A lot of workers going to go down here, and the bank for Sniper is really non-existent. Oh, is Polt going to be able to get the base? No! Survives with 200 hit points.
Wow. All right, so a 60 supply lead now for Sniper. Polt making tanks and Marauders and Marines still able to use that production, but he is almost out of resources. This is kind of do or die time for TSL.Polt. Unless he gets some major damage done in the next few minutes, Sniper is going to be in a great position to win this game.
And looks like Sniper running around the right-hand side. Yeah, I mean, this was quite a turn of events. TSL was actually up 4-2 when Sniper came in to try and save things for his team, and now finds himself in a great position against their ace.
Sniper's been playing so well, and look at this. Another planetary fortress potentially going down. Yeah, the SCV is not going to be able to repair this one. Ultralisk coming in to kind of oversee. And the planetary getting low, but oh, he does save it. He saves
just barely in time, and that is big for Polt. We'll see if Sniper tries to go around any other sort of side. No, just worrying about taking his own base down to the bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah, Sniper's pretty much got the rest of the map right now. Polt, he's still got a decent army. He's built himself back up to within 20 supply of his opponent, so it's not over just yet. He's got a good amount of medevacs. Fungal growth really won't be much of an issue for his army as long as he can kind of keep it away from the Banelings, but Sniper wants that 4th base. Here he comes again.
Okay, this planetary fortress needs to be healed up right now, and it's just not being, now finally the mass repair, but it's not in time.
Oh man, Polt not quite paying attention, although he does get one Ultra immediately. Fungal growth letting the Banelings connect, but Sniper, knowing that he's done the damage, looks like he wants to just pull back, losing another Ultra on the way. And I feel like Polt just kind of needs to attack right now, man. I mean, it's going to take him a long time to be able to benefit from that base again. I don't know if that's time he has.
Oh, wow. And Sniper catching this drop up to the top left-hand corner before Polt can finish off another base. Really well done. And
Tough
look at this,
game
Polt.
for Polt.
Yeah, I mean, he's mining off of this base quite well. Don't get me wrong. A lot of mules there stacking on top of the SCVs, but he's almost mined out of his original third. Natural basically gone. Main completely gone. Let's take a look back at the situation for Sniper. He's working off of this base here at the 12 o'clock. Main is gone. Natural gone. Third gone. Fourth. Pretty good mining being done there as well.
What an awesome last game for this match. I mean, both players really going back and forth. They're still in it, man. I mean, Polt is not out of this game at all. He's in a rough spot, but he still has a good chance to take the win for TSL. What a comeback it would be, too, for Sniper to come in and win 3 games, take MVP to the next round. Polt doesn't want that to happen. And he's got that little high ground here. That's one of the interesting things about Atlantis Spaceship. A lot of little high grounds in the middle. And here we go. Sniper attacking up there. That's a lot of siege tanks.
It is, and the Baneling's connecting with a fair number of siege tanks as well, and even though that wasn't as cost efficient, it doesn't matter because of the amount of ultras that are behind.
Ooh.
Finally, Polt rolling up with a few more forces. Stims, unfortunately, he can't get these medevacs caught. What are these medevacs doing? They need to be healing up some forces.
And they do have a lot of energy, but the health is getting very low. Scanning to see what else is there. Tanks firing at those Ultralisks, but it looks like every time Polt attacks, Sniper just barely has enough Ultralisks to get through and win the fight. And now it's a 60 supply lead for our Zerg player. And man, how many Ultralisks has he lost this game?
I don't even want to know.
He's got 3 out right now, but I swear he's made at least like 20.
Look at that. Over 1,000 units killed in this game so far.
Wow, that's a war. That's a war through and through. Oh, nice fungal.
Yeah, pins down a lot of forces there.
Yep.
A few of those Marines dying. The Marauders even getting incredibly low. One of those passing away. And it's 104 supply to 171 now. Polt has finally restarted this base.
We're at the 30-minute mark now for Polt versus Sniper. And this is one of those games we were talking about. A lot of games on Atlantis Spaceship end up like this. It's very difficult for both players to kind of attack. What I'm really surprised about, actually, is that Sniper hasn't transitioned to Broodlords. He hasn't even put down a Greater Spire yet, I don't think. Has he? Does he have
I don't believe
Spire?
he has. No.
He does.
Okay,
he just isn't using it.
mind.
Okay, so he's ready to make that transition if he wants to. But to do that, he's going to need to take gases on a few more bases. He's kind of low in that regard when it comes to making Corruptors and Broodlords. But, you know, if anything is true right now in ZVT, if you stay on Ultras for too long, you run the risk of just not being able to keep up the momentum. That's a great position right there for Polt. It's going to be pretty safe as he moves forward towards that base.
These are his only medevacs on the field, though, and they just used all of their energy, so it's going to be difficult for Polt to be able to heal up his forces as time goes along. They'll accumulate energy ever so slowly. Polt just trying to get himself a good position, but he's certainly going to leave himself susceptible to some sort of a big counterattack.
Yeah, Sniper's kind of letting him roll up here because it's a wider area for him to engage on, and now that Polt's moved there, he might be ready to do it. Oh, he does snipe the hatchery, though. A little bit too late as there are more bases out for Sniper, but every little base does count for Polt.
Oh, and it looks like Sniper wants to roll right back through and engage this. Polt even needs to siege up or get out of there very quickly. Ultralisks are still quite a fast unit, and Polt actually going to keep these in a non-siege mode here, so a little bit higher DPS.
And he does.
Oh, and the Banelings are going to roll through afterwards as well, and Polt takes a ton of damage.
Oh, now he's 100 supply down. That may have been the final nail in the coffin, and that was a lot of nails, but it's finally nailed. And Sniper, I think, is going to be able to take this game. TSL.Polt with a valiant effort, but as he loses this base, that is going to be so difficult for him to come back from, making 15 Marines at once. And there are finally Broodlords out on the map for Sniper, and that kind of completes the composition that he needs to kind of make an unbeatable army against TSL.Polt.
And
what a comeback.
Polt does only have this one base. No kidding. I mean, it looks like Sniper is going to take this for MVP, but they were down 4-2 at one point.
Know.
There was an incredible comeback. He had to kill 3 members in a row, and he went through Symbol, Inori, and Polt, of all people.
Yeah, kind of makes you wonder if these two teams make it to the GSTL finals, what we're going to see after this match. This was pretty close.
I think everyone would have been happy had this been the finals of GSTL.
No kidding, man. If it does happen, I wouldn't mind at all. Oh, here we go. Sniper coming in. A tiny army. Polt tries to split, but there's pretty much as many Ultras as there are Marines at this point.
GG! MVP takes the sets. They eliminate TSL from the tournament. They will move on to play Team Liquid in the next round.